SALSANERDS TV with Jorge Chavez. Again, I want to say that if you guys don't know, we had a interview, I'll say about 7-8 years ago.
2012.
Yeah, that's great. Oh my God. When I first started doing this, and so he was nice enough to start me off in the Salsa Nerds thing, and and just give me a little time to actually talk on what I was trying to embark and do, and I'm trying to still do, and so I just kind of went with it. So, but I'm happy to have him back in Salsa Nerds, because we're revamping this, and I thought, man, you know what? Let's call Jorge. Let's go back to the old school, and let's get back to talking about salsa, because from what I see, last 7 years we've grown in many different ways, and I know that now you're doing the what do you call it, not the Marriott, but the Renaissance.
Which is a Marriott brand.
Okay, yeah,
Renaissance social at the International Plaza Hotel.
Right, and so that I thought that was that's cool. I think that's been but I've seen your progression, because I've just been watching, and it's been you've been everywhere. You've been I remember, I think when we last left off, I think on that one interview, you were in transition with Island Touch, and I think with Diamond, because I remember doing an interview with Sonia Rivera at that time when she was over there, which was the old Island Touch studio.
Yeah, which was the old Salsa studio.
Oh,
so
wow.
That studio changed hands a bunch of times
right.
at that time. So
yeah. So and there's so much that's I think so many people have grown. We've seen Ernesto, we've seen Ernesto go, and now, we're seeing a lot of people kind of doing their thing, and you're starting to see new studios come out, and, things like that, but what do you think, so from that time, what do you think, how things have happened in the Tampa salsa scene from, let's say, that time to now? I mean, have you seen it grow? Have you seen it flourish, or have you seen it kind of?
Well, for one thing, there's a lot more socials now, actually. Every weekend, someone's throwing a social.
Wow.
As opposed to it was back 7-8 years ago. There was 1 or 2 main socials. I remember there was Noche de Salsa Caliente,
right?
Salsa Caliente, and that was the pinnacle social. Ernesto had his Fuego social back in the day at the old Arthur Murray location, not the newer one on Gandy.
Right, yeah.
This isn't new anymore.
Yeah.
That was
fun. That was
Diamond Dancers had their social here and there.
Right, yeah.
But since then, now it's a lot more socials have grown since then. Have taken over. I know that my Renaissance social, has been around since 2014. The first one was 2014. But it became monthly in 2018. It used to be annually. Then 2018 became monthly, and it's been great. Right now, I'm getting consistent big attendance. And then I recently started another social, the Bodega at Seminole Heights. Social, and that's a free social, open to the public.
Yeah.
And the whole idea is to get business to the restaurant.
Right. Yeah.
But it has a nice open courtyard. That's great for dancing. It's been great. People love it. It's been going on a year now.
Are you calling those socials? Is that what it is?
I call them socials, yeah, because we're catering to the Latin dance community, the salsa community, the bachata community.
Mm-hmm.
We see a lot of the same crowds. One thing we as the event promoters, we have to be conscious of what dates we have our events, that we don't fall on the other major events. So sometimes it's miscommunications. Well, I'll do an event on a certain day that without the other person knowing, and that happens occasionally. But
there's only so many days
to communicate. I know that I'm sort of the odd man in the whole event promotion, in that I don't own a studio. I don't have dance teams. I'm not teaching like I was per se. I teach occasionally.
Right, yeah.
But the other event promoters, they have studios, they're teaching, they have a student base, and they have a huge following, and they're hustling. I'm not in their position per se. In fact, the socials that I have going on, it's people who have come to me, and I've helped grow the socials from there. So, but I'm still catering to the same crowd, so I have to be conscious of that. I don't want to step on toes. It's tough. It still happens, but it's in general, I think it's a decent family. It's it's a family that gets along. We have a nice community, dance community here in Tampa, and we all get along pretty well. Not a lot of drama. I mean, we're not at war. There's no. I'm not trying to put anybody out of business. No one's trying to step on my. Right. And mostly we try to work with each other, honestly.
Yeah. No, and I know, and I that's why I think you see, like, you don't want to be stepping on people's toes, like making sure that we don't cross with people's events. Yeah. But it's because don't you think that maybe it's growing too, and that's
the events have grown a lot. There's just more and more events, even outside of town. Like Sarasota has a growing salsa community. I've got to know them recently, and they're always trying to do more and more. And I'd like to go down there and support and do some, and get involved to help their social, not to open a social. Right. But I tend to. I see myself retiring in Sarasota, so
Sarasota.
But St. Pete has something going on, but really, Tampa's is where everything's happening. Orlando is just more established, has bigger schools, has bigger venues. And there's a lot more talent out that way, honestly. But you know what? In the whole growth, looking back at all the growth, I look back at the people that started back then, and how much they've grown since then. Like, I look at Jorge Alberto. He was just starting out on his own. After he left on sets, and he's grown to have a huge following. And he's about to have his own regular socials apparently. So kudos to him. And other people that have worked hard in the scene, putting in their dues, working hard, trying to provide a good service, a good dancing environment for the community here in Tampa. And it's been great, honestly. They've been doing a great job. All of them have a lot of respect for Tato Salsa. I don't want to. He was my original instructor 17 years ago. I've seen him do events back in the past, but now he's pretty much a pillar in the community. I
watch him, like, I don't know him personally, but I watch him dance. He's a really smooth dancer.
He has an amazing
nice studio too.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the best studio in town.
Yeah.
He has his really popular event in Ybor City monthly now. That's been great.
Yeah, but the Sunday
Sabasura.
I heard so many good things about that. I got passed by one day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the spot. Like, and I hear so many good things. And that's good. Like, it's healthy. I wanted to ask you a question. Like, do you feel that there's a difference between a ballroom dance school and that has salsa, and a salsa dance school?
Yes, absolutely. Because I used to work for the dance. I have a bunch of ballroom friends, first of all. And I did work for a ballroom studio for just a little bit. I taught there, a place called Magic Dance Studio in St. Pete a few years back. And I helped salsa socials there a while back. They tend to be more upright and they have that very European-esque way of dancing. That's very like I don't know.
And it's also too
it looks elegant. It is elegant, and there's a lot of technique involved. Whereas salsa tends to be more relaxed. We're lower to the ground. We're more Afro-Cuban, Afro-Latin. I tend to lean more towards Afro-Latin, Afro-Cuban. Body movement, not so much the upright.
The whole.
To me, it reminds me of more like the European way of dancing. Definitely more Afro-Latin. I would rather give more preference to the African roots of salsa. That came through Cuba, Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico. I tend to give more credence to that, and I'd rather honor that tradition.
But you were doing when you were doing a lot of things. I remember you were USF, right?
I was a Latin dance instructor, the chief Latin dance instructor, voluntary for a Latin dance club from 2012 till 2015. Then I had my daughter. She was born in 2015, so I had to leave them. And
but why? Just to focus on your daughter?
Yeah, absolutely. Being a father is the number one job I have. There's no one more important than my daughter, and I have to put in the time being a father, and I don't want to lose that time. Even when I have dance socials, there are times when I can't be with her. I feel kind of like lost, but I have to pay the bills. And sometimes when I can, I bring her with me, especially to like the day events, like a few times I've had my daughter at some of the daytime salsa events on the weekends that are family friendly, so it's great that I can get her on there. And everyone's so loving to her. Yeah, but anyways,
she's growing up with salsa. It's cool.
Yeah, she is. A lot of people. Yeah, she has her own fan club. And, you know,
Yeah.
people stalk my own fan page. Not for me, but for my daughter. They don't even care. But anyways, yeah. What were we getting back to? I was getting back to. But yeah, I was teaching for USF, and I left them, and but they have a great. When I left, they had a really good. They were recognized as an actual like club in USF that earned money and started earning grants and what have you, and they got more recognition and more pull as far as like what they can do
Right, how much
at USF. Yeah.
Did you feel that kind of like helped you reach a lot of people in that for those?
At that time, yeah, some of them I'm still friends with some of them, a few that were like some of the instructors, assistant instructors at that time. I'm still friends with them, and we still keep in touch. One of them is George Alex Olivo. He started his own dance school, Salsa de Alma, over in Wesley Chapel recently, last year. And I've known him for 10 years. He was the president of the Latin Dance Club back in 2014. When I was there, it was an amazing year. 2013, 2014, it was an amazing year I was there. One of the best times of my life was teaching for USF Latin Dance Club, and yeah.
So tell me about the
Great
Renaissance. How'd you end up getting that? And
When
did that start?
Well, the first one we had was 2014, but it started with the idea that I had when I first walked in there as an employee. I used to work for that hotel, that particular location. In 2011, I just got back from Seattle. I was living in Seattle for a little bit. It didn't work out. I came back to Tampa, and I needed a job right away, so I got hired there. I remember walking into their the restaurant there, the Italian restaurant. It had this really beautiful blue marble floor and wooden tiles, and it looked like kind of looked like a nightclub. I said, "Oh man, we could totally do a salsa here." Ding! And at that time, immediately, and I was already on a bunch of dance teams at the time. I was still with Allen Touch at the time, and I remember telling it to the managers, and they just scoffed at me. Sure enough, 3 years later, new management comes in. No, totally. The management that hired me, they didn't see it.
Oh wow.
I was new. I was a new guy. They didn't
Right.
As a couple of years went by that I was there, I was always on these dance teams and dancing in the hallways and blasting my MP3 player and speaker in the back, and they'd see me dancing. I'd grab some of the girls, the employees. So I got known as the salsa guy. And then once a year, the hotel opens up to the public. It's known as I forgot, the Global Day of Discovery is what they call it. And all the Renaissance hotels throughout the world, there's like 60 locations. They open it up to the public. And in 2014, after I'd been there for 3 years, they came up to me and said, "Hey, we want to open up the hotel. We want to do something Latin dance themed. Would you invite all your dance friends to come?" I'm like, "Oh yeah!" And, the first one was free. We hired a band, a local band at the time that was known in the salsa community, and a whole bunch of people showed up. A lot of the USF Latin Dance Club, a lot of the studios at the time showed up, and it was amazing. And then we did it the following year, and I got a DJ this time, not a band. And the year after that again, and then
So
again.
you were just doing it like a yearly thing.
For the first 3 years, it was once a year. Then the fourth year, 2018, is when they wanted to do it yearly. I actually went up to the new management at the time, and I proposed them. They had a new management at the time, and I appealed to them. "Hey, I've done salsa events here before. Are you open to doing another salsa event here?" And I was thinking just maybe once every few months, but the management at the time said, that's still there now, said, "Let's do it monthly." I nearly fainted.
Did you feel?
That was a dream come true.
Has it changed as far as like? Because I know when you were doing it yearly, it was like, right? You were getting, because it was like a fun event.
Yeah, about 150, 180 people, 200 people will show up. Now we're getting 250 to 300 people showing up.
Oh wow! Even
except this month, we had like 150. We had our Valentine's show, so the same night as Dato Salsa had their Valentine's show. So that was miscommunication on our parts. We didn't communicate, and me trying to capitalize, and the hotel wanted to capitalize on that week, on the Valentine's weekend. Of course, Dato. I didn't realize it, so there was that clashing. I didn't mean it to happen, so I do have to communicate more. I'm not trying to divide the salsa community. We're the same people. I understand they had an awesome event regardless. But yeah, we draw a pretty big crowd. Yeah, we draw a pretty big crowd because we have now lately I've been having the ballroom.
Right, yeah.
That ballroom can accommodate 300 people.
So you started off with the smaller room, I guess.
The smaller restaurant
right.
on the other side of the hotel. Now we have the main ballroom, and it's been great. The whole hotel's open to us. The restaurant part, the other bar that's in there, the lobby, the part, even the pool technically, and the hot tub is available to us to show our wristband till 11 o'clock. Then it closes. Nobody ever does. At one point, I was offering discounts at the hotel for anybody who wanted to stay. They give a code, but nobody took advantage of that. So I stopped that. Maybe we'll do it again. I don't know, but there's a lot more available at that hotel. Plus, it's part of the International Plaza, which is a great location.
And it's growing, and it could grow into something even bigger. Who knows?
There's talks of doing like a weekend event. We'll see. I have to be aggressive, but I have to really want it and go after it.
So, but I mean, it's bringing it, man. And it looks like fun. I gotta pass by one.
It's meant to be a night of elegance, show off. Although some guys, a lot of people do dress up. You do have some guys that show up in t-shirts. You guys that show up in t-shirts. A lovely ballroom, and you show up in t-shirts. Dress up a little bit, put on a tie, a collar, something. Yeah. But we don't really have a dress code, but it's great. I remember the third year when we were doing it, they used to hire a cop on premises. Now the hotel knows that the South people are just so friendly. Nothing ever.
It's always
no drama.
I always feel like when the reggaeton when the reggaeton comes on, you bring that crowd, and then that's when the problems start to happen.
Yeah, and we don't get any of that crowd. Occasionally, I get one person that gets in like, "Hey, you gonna play him an egg?" No, man, this ain't that kind of. This ain't this ain't Whiskey North.
I try to explain. I explain to a lot of people. Just average people that dance salsa.
And I get that a lot. Like, "Hey, do you play some merengue? No, we're not. Most of what you see, 90% of the people are salsa students from various studios, so we're catering to them.
Right, yeah. And a lot of people, when I talk to people all the time.
I get some hate, your event,
no.
Sorry,
No, but
I get some hate messages.
Even when you talk to average people that are just like, not on the know about salsa, I try to explain to them, it's a whole different world. A nightclub is a nightclub as far as like a Latin night.
Exactly.
And then you have a salsa social, or socials, or salsa events. And they, a lot of people don't realize that salsa and dancing salsa and the whole thing with salsa is not your parents' salsa. It's
we're
more
studio trained.
Yeah, we're studio trained.
We're all familiarized with this dance language.
Right,
and we express it amongst other aficionados, people in that camp that know how to dance. We don't want to just go out and have a few beers and hit on the girl.
Right. And now you're. I mean, how do you see yourself now as a teacher, as a promoter? What do you see?
I guess I'm kind of like a. I'm not putting myself on a pedestal, but I feel kind of like a community leader. Kind of like I've been around a while now, and my events. I'm known to my events, and I don't think I'm anything big. I'm still struggling. I'm still trying to make things happen. I'm not living high off the hog. I'm not running game on anybody. But I have something, and I want to put my time in, and I have to respect the community and I have to work with the other instructors, the other event promoters in town. So, and it's a constant. It's constant vigilance is what it is.
What do you say? I know you keep saying about respect and things like that. And I know what you're talking about. You're talking about because there's a lot of events happening and everybody's getting into the business, and we're seeing other new people kind of start doing their thing. I mean, but when we're talking about respect, and let's be real. Like, I mean, you're saying you just don't want. We want there's enough room for everybody, and we can respect each other.
Yeah, there are times where two events happen in one night and the crowd feels split, people feel torn. I don't see why you feel torn. Just pick one. You'll be okay.
Yeah. You're still gonna dance salsa.
Yeah, you're still gonna dance. I don't know. I'm gonna go to both. You don't have to go to both events. Pick one. You'll be okay. Right. That's my view. At the same time, we do cater to the same crowd. My events tend to be kind of big. I get a lot of people, and I don't want a particular crowd. I really want a lot of people to come to my events, and I don't want to take away people from other events that I respect. So it's important that I stay vigilant, that we stay vigilant in communicating with each other. Occasionally it does happen, but at the same time we have to at least try to show vigilance in that we're aware of the other events, or other major salsa events, because a lot of these students they don't want to have to choose. They want to go to the other ones. They want to see a lot of the same friends there. So Yeah, I don't want to divide the friends. You know?
Right, right. And it's not. It's really not about that. It's just the thing with growing.
I do see people like out of nowhere start something and it fizzles out. But that's because they haven't put in their due time in the Tampa scene, growing the scene, trying to, you know, grow something that's conducive to the dance community, that the dance community would support. They're not growing it, they're not nurturing it, and that fizzles out. That never lasts, and that I see it happen all the time. You have to plant yourself in Tampa and really you know, water this place and water the community, you know, and provide a good quality service that people want to, you know, they want to keep coming back. So you got to stick it out. You have to be in it.
It's hard. It ain't easy.
Yeah, long term. It's been a long term. I've been.
I mean, it's been years for you getting just to, you know, do your
to this point,
just being a part of it. And I think I think a lot of things have just come to you because you've just been.
Well, not a lot, like a few things. You know, I'm not.
It's a subculture, right? I mean, it's
an inviting culture. We invite everyone.
Right, and then no longer do you feel like it's about being Latin anymore when it comes to. I mean, I know that it's Creole music. It's not Creole music, but it's not, right? It's really.
No, I'm quick to remind people. Oh, you're a Latino. You grew up like that, so if you're exposed to that, not really. I grew up to like Run DMC and LL Cool J, and I still don't like reggaeton. Right. I don't like reggaeton. You know, I heard first reggaeton. I was like, what the hell is this? I was listening to you know, Tribe Called Quest, and like this reggaeton is not hip hop. I'm sorry. So I'm still anti-reggaeton. So hate me on that.
You heard.
So hate me on that.
No, but it's a whole different world. Salseros versus, you know, like that. I mean, it's just two different fields. There's there's a classiness to salsa. There's also a sassiness, and there's a street thing. There's a lot of swagger to salsa dancing and stuff.
For sure.
And bachata too. Like I know that you do a lot. You were big in the bachata scene.
I've taken a step back from that a lot. Yeah.
Why? I mean,
I loved it back then. It was new to me, and Island Touch was known for it. But I really enjoyed the salsa music more.
Really salsero
really salsero. I like the old, even the old era that goes back to Cuba, the old mambo era, back in the 1950s. I appreciate the big bands, the big Latin jazz bands at that time. When I think of mambo music, I think of the old, you know, Tito Puente, Machito and the Afro-Cubans, Mario Bauza, those old big bands from back in the 1940s and 50s. That was mambo then. And in the 60s, when during the Latin soul era that came out of New York City, and Salsa Dura and the Fania that came out of the 70s, you know, and I love the old stuff, you know, from the old mambo era, old Latin jazz era of the 40s, 50s to the Salsa Dura and the mambo era, and even the Salsa Romantica from the 80s now. That's super classic now. I'm really old school about that.
Plug your stuff. What are you doing right now? As far as like what's coming up in what are you doing constantly? Like, you know, what's your normal? I know you got two things. I know you got Bodega, and then you got the Renaissance, right? That's a monthly thing.
I also have an event at also in Seminole Heights called London Heights British Pub, and they do. They were doing a Sunday social too after Bodega stopped for a while during the summertime because they're indoors, but they have a huge patio. So they're back to doing Sundays again. For a while they were doing Fridays and Saturday nights, jumping around. It's been a struggle there. It's not as popular as the other socials. That's my least popular social. So I'm back with them, trying to work with them since now they're done with football season on Sundays, catered to the football crowd. They're kind of a sports bar theme in there. But now their Sundays are open, so they want to start introducing Sunday socials again. Once a month, working with the other Sunday events happening. There's more and more Sunday events now. There's BKS and, you know, what do you call it? Sabrosura still been going on for the longest. Bodega now that I have, and so now I have another Sunday social.
But he does it
still free.
But he does it every month too, like once
usually
a month.
At the end of the month. Huge turnout. Mambo Tribe, you know, he's there a lot. DJ Mambo Tribe. But
are you teaching at all?
Occasionally I do teach. I did teach cha-cha class the last couple of times at Bodega, and now I'm just getting a lot of requests. I'm getting a lot of requests like, are you teaching cha-cha? Where are you teaching cha-cha? Because
you're teaching it on one, right?
There is no. I'm fighting that battle, bro. I'm fighting that battle.
I don't get it. I don't get. I mean, look, God bless you, but I just.
Man, I tell you what.
Because I know that you and I love cha-cha.
Oh man, cha-cha's, you don't get any more Latin dancing than cha-cha.
Why are people so scared of dancing?
It looks complicated, it's not so easy, it's in the onto, it's counted onto, which I even hate saying counted onto. I'd rather say it's on the cha-cha rhythm.